Welcome to the sixth part of the Sauti Yetu Digital Civic Education Manual. In the last section, we looked at good governance provided for in the Constitution of Kenya 2010. In this section, we shall look at leadership and integrity as provided by the Constitution. The Constitution of Kenya 2010 provides under Chapter 6 for leadership and integrity of all public officers. The chapter is based upon the assumption that state officers are the nerve center of the republic and carry the highest level of responsibility in the management of state affairs, and therefore their conduct should be beyond reproach. This means that under the Constitution, those whose conduct does not bring honor, public confidence, and integrity have no place in the management of public affairs. A state officer is any person who holds a state office. The chapter states that authority assigned to a state officer is a public trust to be executed in a manner that is consistent with the purposes of the objects of this Constitution, demonstrates respect for the people, brings honor to the nation and dignity to the office, and promotes public confidence in the integrity of the office, and vests in the state officer the responsibility to serve the people rather than the power to rule them. The guiding principles of leadership and integrity include selection on the basis of personal integrity, competence and suitability or election in free and fair elections, objectivity and impartiality in decision making, and in ensuring that decisions are not influenced by nepotism, favoritism, other improper motives, or corrupt practices. Selfless service based solely on the public interest demonstrated by honesty in the execution of public duties and the declaration of any personal interest that may conflict with public duties, accountability to the public for decisions and actions, and discipline and commitment in service to the people. Before assuming a state office, acting in a state office, or performing any functions of a state office, a person shall take and subscribe the oath or affirmation of office in the manner and form prescribed by the third schedule or under an act of parliament. A state officer shall behave, whether in public and official life, in private life, or in association with other persons, in a manner that avoids any conflict between personal interest and public or official duties, compromising any public or official interest in favor of a personal interest, or demeaning the office that the officer holds. A person who contravenes the above clause shall be subject to the applicable disciplinary procedure for the relevant office, and may, in accordance with the disciplinary procedure, be dismissed or otherwise removed from office. A person who has been dismissed or otherwise removed from office for a contravention of the provisions mentioned earlier is disqualified from holding any other state office. A gift or donation to a state officer on a public or official occasion is a gift or donation to the Republic and shall be delivered to the state unless exempted under an Act of Parliament. A state officer shall not maintain a bank account outside Kenya except in accordance with an Act of Parliament, or seek or accept a personal loan or benefit in circumstances that compromise the integrity of the state officer. A full-time state officer shall not participate in any other gainful employment. Any appointed state officer shall not hold office in a political party. A retired state officer who is receiving a pension from public funds shall not hold more than 2 concurrent remunerative positions as chairperson, director, or employee of a company owned or controlled by the state or a state organ. A retired state officer shall not receive remuneration from public funds other than that as contemplated in Clause 3. A person is not eligible for election or appointment to a state office unless the person is a citizen of Kenya. A state officer or a member of the defense forces shall not hold dual citizenship. This does not apply to judges, and members of commissions, or any person who has been made a citizen of another country by operation of that country's laws without ability to opt out. Parliament shall enact legislation to establish an independent Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, which shall be and have the status and powers of a commission under Chapter 15 for purposes of ensuring compliance with and enforcement of the provisions of this chapter. Parliament shall enact legislation establishing procedures and mechanisms for the effective administration of this chapter, prescribing the penalties in addition to the penalties referred to in Article 75 that may be imposed for a contravention of this chapter, providing for the application of this chapter with the necessary modifications to public officers and making any other provisions necessary for ensuring the promotion of the principles of leadership and integrity mentioned in this chapter and the enforcement of this chapter. The Leadership and Integrity Act was enacted in 2012 to give effect to this chapter. We have come to the end of the 6th section of this module. Please assess your understanding of this section by taking the following quiz. Remember to join us in the next section. Bye for now.